Robert Connor Carpenter, class portrait, mixed media, Episcopal School of Dallas, teacher Kathleen Raymond. This is a compilation of drawings, and each portrait is one of my classmates. The final portrait on the right is one of myself. I transferred my drawings with Citrasolve onto one page and then used black colored pencil and watercolor to unify the image. Jamie Choi, my senior moment. It's a serograph, Coppell High School, Tamara Westerfelt, teacher. Influenced by Andy Warhol's use of color and design, I wanted to develop a work using his style and the technique of silkscreen. The busy pattern of the background represents the harsh moments during my senior year. Olga Dominguez, Creek's Edge, digital print, Bryan Adams High School, teacher Richard Bond. I wanted to show how ordinary things in nature, when photographed a certain way, can become very unexpected. Bringing attention to edges and borders of places creates a very interesting and contemplative composition. Emily Ehlers, Morning Breakfast, mixed media, silver, brass, and copper, Creekview High School, teacher Cindy Summerman. I was inspired by the everyday use of the toaster. Although the overall form is simple, a bent piece of metal over another straight piece, recreating its form, it was not. I added the plate with toast, eggs, and bacon to make the piece complete. Sophia Espinosa, Inner Beast, Tempera and Pastel, Newman Smith High School, teacher Kay Cavan. In this painting, I tried to portray a stray cat from my neighborhood. He stalks to the streets and alleys. The colors and textures of the background help define the cat's lifestyle. Always straying and moving, his red silhouette shows the danger he feels. Rachel Felber, Peaceful Geisha. Mixed media, copper, silver, and brass, teacher Cindy Summerman, Creekview High School. My piece was influenced by the fabrics used in a kimono and the peaceful beauty of geishas who are known to be works of art themselves. I created my piece by pressing different textures into a variety of metals, then placing them harmoniously together, emulating the harmony of the fabrics on a real geisha's dress. Catherine Fielder, Chaos, watercolor, Newman Smith High School, teacher Kay Cavan. I was inspired to do this piece when looking at the free and flowing works of watercolor and ink artists. After watching birds in my backyard, I saw how different each one could be based upon their movements and chirping. I connected it to human emotions, thus developing a rhythm and movement, much like people communicating. Marquise Hill, Thinking of You. Oil paint, Newman Smith High School, teacher Kay Cavan. My assignment was to draw 100 portraits. I drew all my friends, family, and classmates in my sketchbook. The final piece was done with oil paints, but was too big for this show, 32 inches by 55 inches. So I took one of my favorite images and redid it with a more interesting background reflecting the patterns on the t-shirt. Kevin Houlihan, Pollution, mixed media, Booker T. Washington High School, teacher Miss Charlotte Chambliss. Over the years, people have become isolated and have lost their touch with humanity. Through the advancement of technology, we, the people, have succumbed to a wasteful existence in which we have lost touch with one another. Hendrix Kimputu, Imagination in a Box, Tempera Paint, Creekview High School, teacher Bob Thomas. My picture is about imagination being locked in a box and trying to find its way out. Robert Lee, M2K Avenue. Oil paint, Coppell High School, teacher Tamara Westervelt. I wanted to show the contrast of light and dark by incorporating an obvious light source. Through contrast and proportion, the tall buildings show how small the car is, and the sense of deep space is created by the orthogonals of linear perspective. Tintoretto, Venetian Renaissance painter, created dramatic contrast in light and shadow and space. And I kept going with the painting because it was challenging. Steve Lee, Day at the Studio, acrylic paint, Coppell High School, teacher Tamara Westervelt. This is my self-portrait in an art studio. I initially used the technique of Alice Neal with strong outlines and colors. However, to create a mood of anticipation, I incorporated dramatic color and contrast in values. Irene Lee, Clockworks, acrylic paint, Grapevine High School, teacher Mary Williams. I wanted to explore the mechanics of a clock. It is interesting to me because it works very simply, but has complex mechanisms. Michael Lyons, Chronos Clockwork, mixed media, copper, brass, and plexiglass, Creekview High School, teacher Cindy Summerman. I was inspired by the complex mechanics yet simple function of the grandfather clock. I made most of the edges of this piece rigid along with the arch at the top to maintain its elegance. I also have my own artist signature, which I incorporated onto most of my work, which has a hidden meaning to me alone, in this case, Chronos Clockwork. Sean McGuire, The Smiling Sky, digital image printed multiple times on watercolor paper, Colleyville Heritage High School, teacher Heidi Schaben. A smiling sky, a giant with the head of a television, words that fly through the streets. It's all just a stop on my metaphysical road trip. Alex Mong, Reflection of the Light, digital, Colleyville Heritage High School, teacher Heidi Schaben. The true aspects of a person's character are oftentimes disguised between a daily charade. My efforts in this piece were to try and destroy that charade and express to the viewer my brother's true character, even if it is only shown in a brief instance. Erlson Neba, The Things I Love Doing, mixed media, Booker T. Washington High School, teacher Nancy Miller. My self-portrait expresses the things I love doing. I love listening to music and drawing. I use the mirror to create depth in the piece.